Hi everybody, it's me, Joe White from Get Life Coaching. Welcome back to another edition of Live Free. Welcome to our Wilmington office, right? Nice tour here. A little bit late here on a Monday night. Full day of coaching clients. Sitting here working late, preparing for upcoming life coaching certification weekend we call Coaches Camp. And I want to sit down with you and to share some ideas that came up with actually two of my clients today. I figured there was relevance here. I want to share that with you. Now, if you're like me, we all have people that know how to push our buttons. Whether it's a parent or mom and dad, your parents, right? Or a sibling or boyfriend, girlfriend, child, somebody, worker, co-worker, boss, someone that knows how to push your buttons. Right? I mean, one minute you could be feeling confidence, and next minute, what happens? You go in front of someone and you shrivel up. Or maybe there's someone at work, and you go by the desk, and they start talking to you, and you're in a good mood, you're feeling great, and they're just a tornado of negativity. You know what I'm talking about. And you say, don't talk to them, just keep walking. They say, hey, how was your weekend? And next thing you know, you're in a bitching contest to see who has it worse. And you get so caught up into it, and her crap becomes your crap, and next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Have you been ever guilty of that? Yeah, I think all of us has. We're driving down the highway, someone cuts you off and get road rage. Now there's some good examples of this too. I know you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about. It's called boundaries. But sometimes you go to the theater or a movie and you get so sucked into it, you actually give up permission. You want to be sucked in. And we love the experience because we become part of the movie. Like Avatar was like that. But sometimes the movie draws us in, but then violates that agreement that we have, that you're going to take care of us. You're going to give us an ending or take the movie in a way that's going to either give us pleasure or at least be honest. And I don't mean a movie like Inception where you walk out like, oh my God, trying to put the pieces together. But we've all seen movies where you go through it like, oh my God. And you almost feel a little angry or ticked off about that. So boundaries is our ability to remain separate yet connected. Nice oxymoron. Connect, separate but connected. But that's what boundaries are. A state line is a boundary between two states. Connects them but keeps them separate. Different state laws, but just a line in between that connects them. Our skin, that's another example. Our skin connects the outside world with the inside world. A clear boundary. See, if you want to have strong communication, strong relationships, you got to be able to maintain that separation, yet stay connected. That's what intimacy is. How deep we can go emotionally and physically. That we feel so connected. But we don't lose ourselves entirely. Because then when we do that, then we forget who we are. Now the other side of boundaries or loss of boundaries is a wall. And we won't talk too much about a wall because a whole other issue. But we've been there where we know someone who has that wall up, nothing gets in, nothing gets out. No emotion shown, no feeling, that total detachment. But today's focus is what to do when you are in a situation where you know someone who consistently gets you sucked into their experience. So first thing I want you to do is be aware of the mechanism here. I think awareness is underrated. Awareness doesn't change everything, but awareness gives us the ability to notice when we are no longer separate and we're fully connected. Now, not much, there's things you can do there. I'll tell you about what you can do in a second, but awareness at least slows it down or helps you not to repeat it every single time. If anything else, it begins to break the pattern. Kind of like a little pattern interrupt. Now, when you're in the moment, I want you to ask yourself a question. I want you to ask yourself a question. What is most important here? Is it really serving me to be so caught up that I lose my own ability to respond? Because that's what happens. We get so drawn in and we lose our own ability to respond. And we're just reacting. So maybe a clearer way to ask that last question is this. Is it more important for me to react or choose to respond? I know it's a loaded question, but it's a loaded question that serves you. And then I'll do some writing. Real simple here. I think we've done this in another episode, but this is a powerful tool. I want you to create 3 columns. Get a sheet of paper, 3 columns down. The first column, I want you to write out all your triggers. What do you think? What do they say? What do you feel? What do you see? I want you to become aware of this. The challenge is we get so caught up in this hypnotic state that we don't even realize what is happening until we're smack dab in the middle of it. It's too late. So I want you to get good at recognizing what's going on before you get there, or at least begin to see it as it comes, so then you can take some action and not get caught up in reaction and learn how to respond. So the first column, identify the triggers. The second column, I want you to identify how you used to behave. I know. Used to. But think of it in the past. Think of it, it's not positive thinking, it's using your brain to work in the way that's designed to get you the results the quickest way. And then third, next to each old behavior, I want you to create a new one. Now each line, each entry doesn't have to be something new, but you don't want the same answer for each one. You can dig a little bit deeper in that. I know you can. So set that up. Column 1, write out all your triggers. Column 2, write out all your old behaviors. And then column 3, what are your new behaviors? And read it. Read it every day. Especially if you're meeting somebody. Because there's 3 levels of conditioning. And I'll end with this. Level 1 is preemptive. It's before you go into the situation. As you know, I'm going to see Tom. And Tom, usually when I meet him, I respond this way, I react this way, I lose my boundaries. So it's good to kind of have a strategy before you go in there. Level 1, preemptive. Level 2 is in the moment. Level 2 is when you're having that communication with them and they act or they say something or they challenge you, and instead of you responding, you react. And you lose your boundaries and you can feel yourself getting sucked in. So you want to have the ability to have a strategy or have action to do something in that moment. And then level 3 is mastery. Level 3 is when you even see that person, instead of running the old pattern, you instantly run the new pattern. It's unconscious. It's so deep conditioned down to your identity, just who you are, who you become. So that's the 3 levels of conditioning. You have some homework, you have some actions. And also if there's any topics, any challenges, any issues, email me, tweet me, Facebook me, okay? Share with me some feedback right at the columns, or you can even put some information right under this episode of future topics that you want or challenges that you may be having. But again, as always, I am so appreciative of you joining me for these 8-9 minutes, however long these end up being. So until I see you again, live free. My name is Joe White from Get Life Coaching. Have a great night.